Hello, this is amyyakumb. MB stands for Mobile Gaming. So, about a few weeks ago or so, I put up a community post asking people basically what they'd like to see for Atelier Resleriana. Kind of curious what would make them play this game. Some of you guys wanted to see more of the gameplay, and some of you guys wanted to see more of the combat. So, think of this as sort of a crash course into the combat system of the game. So, yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. They're the most two free ways to support myself and my channel, so I'd be very grateful if you did both. Thank you, and let's get on with the intro.
Okay, welcome back everybody. Just got my team here. I'm on an XP request. I'm pretty much going to show you that and as a good example of the combat system to the game. So before I start, I will give a brief rundown of just everything you see right here. It will be pretty brief though, but I will give a more detailed explanation of everything. So, starting from the top left, there's like your recommended attributes. So any attributes that your units have, the game will tell you what attributes they'd recommend for you to use. They usually just recommend one or two. And then they have the battle info. We'll be fighting some poonies, which are just these cute little enemies. And we have the leader. So for every team that you basically have, you get to pick a leader, and they give you boost. Just make sure you choose wisely on what boost you have. So it says boost all allies' physical attack by 7% for each nurture character in the party. So that's the traits that units have. I won't go too much into it right now, but just know there are traits and stuff in the game. And then you have my party. They're all looking at me, and that's kind of creepy, but I got used to it. And then I have the items at the bottom left corner right here. Just items that pretty much increase like all attackers' skill damage. That's all I really need. So from the top right, just have my stamina. Then like a special bonus, they'll have this sometimes, so if you have certain memoria or you have certain units, you can get extra tickets or something, depending on what time it is, what events there are in the game. Not even time, depending on the events. And then you have the equipped. There used to be just a system where you select every character and put on your memoria and then your armor and stuff, but now they just have it where everything's together like this for every party, so, be sure to keep that in mind. And then there's a recommended power level, and then total power level, so we're basically well above what we need. So yeah, let's just start the battle. And see, you have these beautiful pooties, and yeah. So what I didn't mention is that we all have stats, so speed, magical attack, physical attack. What you do need to know is speed. You can add or subtract people's speed through the use of items. Actually, yeah, I think you can only add. Sorry about that. But, yeah. Just know that when it comes to the bottom left corner you see here with these different panels, the unit speed determines that. So, my Fire Resna is the fastest, so that's why she's going first. And then it's Air Resna, well, Academy Resna, and then Miru, then Shalstera, and then Regina, somewhere in the middle of the enemies. Sadly, I think some of the enemies are faster than her, but that's okay. And just above that, we see our main party and all the roles that she has, that they have. So, both Resnas have our attackers. Shalstera is a breaker, Miru is a support for healing, and Regina is a defender. So, yeah, so with every unit, they have a skill 1, a skill 2, and then a burst skill, which you cannot use right now. So, depending on what skill you use and what enemies you attack, the panel at the bottom left corner will change. So do keep that in mind. You may also notice that there's little stars or icons above the unit's heads, but that usually means that skill damage is being increased or decreased. So you see the red above Regina's. It's usually because her skill damage is going to be decreased. But for Academy Resna, her skill damage will be increased. And you also see that for the enemies as well. So you see like Kumi A has their skill damage increased. So, you know, just to keep that in mind. There we go, that's what I wanted to show. So, instead of basically all the Punies attacking, I can delete one of the Punies, which I will definitely do, and it changes the panel, as you can see. Now, there are some units that will do, that will attack all the enemies, but then some units who don't, you know, and, usually for the skill 1, it's usually much faster. That sort of explains why there's a change in panel right there. So, for Academy Resna, for example, if I use her first skill, I'm not doing nearly as much damage. I'm only attacking one enemy, but she gets to go a little bit sooner in the next, not the next turn, but in the next few turns or so. But I don't want to do that. I want to attack every enemy. Oh, she was not supposed to do crit damage. She did crit damage. Oh no. So, yeah, that is the combat of the game. I didn't get to explain everything, Resna. Okay, and we're back. Just going to do what I did last time and go with this. So, I'd actually edited the, Academy Resna's equipment. I basically unequipped her accessory. Probably something you shouldn't do, but, you know, just showing you just how, that one change could affect the speed order, the order of the panels. So now Beru is going first, and we don't technically need her right now because I usually just use her for healing. But as you can see with her first skill, compared to her second skill, she can go faster, like I explained before. But then also, you know, be sure to read each skill and what it does. But, you know, I'm just gonna heal because, well, that's what I use her for. Okay, Resna, you're not gonna nuke everybody, are you? Just in case, I'm gonna do one. Okay, so, time for Breaker Shalstera. Her main issue is that she is very slow. And the thing is about Breakers is, you see the yellow bar at the top? There's a yellow bar, and then under that is a blue bar. Well, the blue bar is their health, and the yellow bar is their stun gauge. So, normally what you want to do is have your Breakers kind of go first or second, and then break the stun gauge. That way your attackers can do a lot more damage. So you technically don't want your attackers to go first because of that. Do keep in mind that over time, as you get into, you know, the story chapters and everything, that breakers will be less and less useful, simply because the stun gauge is just way too high. So, you know, just keep that in mind. And now, as you can see, all of the poor little ponies are stunned, so let's get rid of one of them. Actually, that's all I really need to show, so maybe I could just have Academy Resna nuke them all now. Let's go. Now, I guess another thing I could show, is at the bottom left corner, where you can see Regina. Well, above her head is a burst along with a cute little icon. That's just showing you that's when her burst is active. And actually another thing, under the party, you'll see my items. I can finally use my items now because the item gauge was just not a... Your item gauge will never be able to be used at the very start of the battle. So I'll just use it right now. Just knowing when to use it and when not to is a good strategy, you know. And do keep in mind, if you do use your items, it will move panels forward. So instead of Regina getting a burst, it's the enemies, that was an honest mistake I made, but it's a good mistake, so I can teach you guys just to not do that and to pay attention to the panels. But yeah, with that, let's just delete some booties. I'll just have mirror attack here. And there you go. I completed XP request and basically gave you guys a little rundown on the combat system to this game, so let me know if you want to see more and I'll happily do more videos about it. But until next time, see you!
Jana!